Welcome to Mind Patterns channel. Let's dive into a feeling that is so confusing and so common. Being just completely mentally drained, even when you feel like you haven't done a single thing to deserve it. Today, we're going to break down exactly why that happens. Does this sound familiar? You wake up and it's not that sleepy feeling, right? Not the I need more rest kind of tired. No, it's a mental exhaustion. Like your brain is already running on fumes before your day has even started. And the thing that's so frustrating is that it feels totally unearned. You didn't run a marathon, you didn't pull an all-nighter for work, you really didn't do anything that should leave you feeling like this. So naturally, where does your brain go? It starts to blame you. You think, I should be able to handle this. What's wrong with me? Maybe I'm just undisciplined, or maybe I'm just lazy. It's such a common and painful thought to have. But here is the most important part of this whole thing, and I really want this to sink in. You are not lazy. The problem isn't a lack of willpower. It's that you are chronically overstimulated. Your brain is running a marathon in the background, even when your body is sitting perfectly still. So, first up, let's talk about this invisible marathon. We're going to look at how our modern life has created this silent mental drain that just runs us ragged without us even realizing what's happening. This right here, this is the big lie we've all been taught to believe, that exhaustion has to be earned through hard, physical, visible labor. So when we feel it, without that obvious reason, we turn the blame inward and assume that we're the ones who are broken. But the real culprit isn't you at all. It's this concept called mental friction. See, it's not one big thing. It's like death by 1,000 cuts from all these constant small pressures, these tiny little micro decisions, and just a relentless background hum of information that is quietly sapping your mental energy. And that brings us to the real root cause of all this friction. The simple, kind of scary truth is, our brains were never ever designed to process the massive amount of input we face every single day. I mean, just think about it for a second. Look at this daily barrage. Notifications, social media, headlines, messages, what's trending, opinions, ads. Even if you aren't actively clicking on every single thing, your brain is still having to filter and process every last bit of it. It's relentless. And with every single piece of that information, your nervous system, deep in the background, is forced to ask these low-grade survival questions. Is this a threat? Do I need to care about this? Am I falling behind? Am I missing out? That's not relaxation. That's a constant low-level state of alert. And that's the heart of the matter. You're not exhausted because you did too much. You are exhausted because your brain was never actually given permission to shut down, to stop scanning, to just be. But it's not just the constant fire hose of information. Let's look at some of the other, more subtle ways our energy gets depleted, because it's often not the big, obvious stressors, but the small, hidden drains that do the most damage over time. One of the biggest hidden drains is something called decision fatigue. Your brain has a finite amount of energy for making choices each day. That's called your executive function. The easiest way to think about it is like your phone battery. Every tiny decision, what to eat, what to wear, whether to reply to a text, it all drains a little bit of power until you're left running on empty. And this right here is such a critical distinction to make. We often think scrolling on our phones or watching TV is rest. It's not. It's just a distraction. It's still input. It's still mental consumption. True recovery requires the total opposite. Mental emptiness. We're talking about silence, walking, just being, allowing your brain to actually reset, not just consume more stuff. So, the big question is, what in the world do we do about it? Let's get into the solution with some real practical steps for psychological recovery. No fluff, no influencer nonsense, just things that actually work. Okay, step one is what we just talked about. You absolutely have to stop mistaking stimulation for rest. Your brain is desperate for emptiness. Then, step two directly targets that decision fatigue. Automate the small stuff. Have the same breakfast every day, a set workout time. It might sound boring, but trust me, in this context, boring is healing. Now, step three is about rebuilding trust with your own body. Your nervous system isn't going to relax if it doesn't feel safe. So rituals like 10 minutes of total silence or a slow walk without your phone, those give it proof that it's okay to stand down. And finally, step four is a huge mindset shift. You have to dismantle the belief that everything is urgent. You are allowed to exist without constantly performing. Let's just let that sink in for a second. All of this exhaustion, this feeling of being off, it is not a personal failing. You are not a broken machine. You are a human system that has been pushed way past its design limits. You are simply overloaded. So that leaves us with this final, really important question. Knowing what you know now about mental friction, decision fatigue, and the need for true rest, what is one small change you can make starting today to begin to reclaim your energy?
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.